Here's why you play Melissa, the cursed needle in the gold lane. First off, she has excellent zone control thanks to a unique doll mechanic, allowing her to lock down enemies with a link debuff and deal consistent damage. Melissa is great at kiting thanks to her mobility and sustained DPS potential. She also excels in skirmishes and small team fights by keeping her distance while punishing anyone who gets too close. However, Melissa is very vulnerable to burst and relies heavily on good positioning and timing. Without protection or map awareness, she can be easily eliminated by assassins or divers. Melissa's passive, Doll Buster, deals extra damage to minions, creeps, and summon units, allowing her to clear waves and pressure lanes faster. This passive makes her efficient in lane control and gives her an advantage while dealing with enemy summons or objectives. Melissa's first skill, Falling, dashes in a designated direction and gains increased attack speed for a few seconds. Damaging linked enemies using muddles reduces the cooldown of this skill, making it great for chasing or repositioning during fights. Melissa's second skill, Eyes on View, throws muddles to link nearby enemies. Linked enemies are slowed and take continuous damage when Melissa attacks muddles. The link lasts for a few seconds or until enemies escape its range. This skill is Melissa's core source of poke and lockdown, making it essential for zone control. Melissa's ultimate, Go Away, summons Cuddles to create a barrier that pushes nearby enemies and prevents them from approaching for several seconds. It blocks enemy dashes and interrupts movement skills, giving Melissa a safe zone to fight from. While active, it also boosts her defenses. A typical combo for Melissa is to start with a second skill to link multiple enemies with muddles. Activate the first skill to reposition and increase your attack speed to keep the link going longer. If enemies attempt to dive you, activate the ultimate to push them away and safely continue dealing damage from within the field. Moving on to builds, I usually build Corrosion Scythe, Windtalker, Haas Claws, Berserker's Fury, Malefic Gun, and finally Sea Halberd. These are the emblems that go along with this build, and this build does not run a boot, so you can be very slow. As for battle spells, the best spells for Melissa in the gold lane in my opinion are Flicker or Inspire. Flicker for repositioning or escaping from danger, and Inspire for maximizing her DPS during extended fights and when linked enemies can't escape easily. Melissa counters melee heroes and assassins who rely on diving in, such as Alucard or Zulong, because her ultimate blocks them and gives her room to fight back. On the other hand, she struggles against long-range marksmen like Beatrix or poking mages like Farsa, who can stay out of her range while dealing consistent damage. She works well with tanks or Romo who can keep enemies inside her muddle's range, such as Franco or Atlas. You should unlock the second skill at level 1 to harass enemies and zone them early. Max the first skill for cooldown and mobility with the second skill as secondary. Upgrade the ultimate whenever available. In playing Melissa, your positioning is everything. Use your second skill to zone enemies during lane trades and in team fights. Positioning muddles properly can control where your enemies move. Always activate your first skill after setting up your second to boost your attack speed and maintain the link longer. In dangerous situations, your ultimate can be used both defensively and offensively. Defensively to stop assassins from jumping on you, or offensively to trap enemies inside your second skill zone while you deal damage safely. Remember, Muddles doesn't stay active forever, so be aware of its range and be ready to reposition it with careful timing. Also, Melissa's weak without her skills, so don't overextend when they are on cooldown. Focus on poking enemies down before committing to an all-in.